Hello, YouTubers, friends, compatriots, bootlickers, shills, desolators, peasants, vassals, trolls, troll hunters, troll fighters. I'm Useful Idiot. And today, obviously, I want to talk about trolls and shills as well. So on YouTube, we have two basic categories, and they kind of overlap in a way because they use similar techniques, and that's shills and trolls. And a recent encounter I had recently made me realize that it was fascinating, the fact that the instinctual techniques used by a troll are the same techniques that are codified and used by shills. And those are using propaganda techniques that are known to work, that are used by the military, the Alinsky methods used by leftists, and of course Edward Bernays, and all the known ways to manipulate people and basically propagandize. And it's used a lot in advertising and everything else. So anyway, it's just fascinating to see these techniques used instinctually by a troll, as well as being used by shills. So I want to kind of go over some of these points that came up, because in this last exercise, this last encounter, it was a YouTube troll / shill who used two different personalities to basically play off me in an encounter. It was really fascinating, and it took me a little while, but I finally realized it was a doppelganger and that it was a troll / shill. And so it made me realize that here's some ways that you can spot a troll / shill. So first of all, we have the rehearsed nature of the comments, especially because the comments repeat the same rehearsed phrases, words, and ideas, only changing the order of them, but the same repetitious, rehearsed phrases over and over and over again. And let me preface, too, that one of the things I found interesting about these encounters with trolls, and everybody's had them, trolls and shills, is that it becomes like a Chinese finger puzzle. Once you enter in, both sides are pulling, and it's hard to extricate yourself because it's such a challenge. So anyway, I'll get back to the list. So number one is the rehearsed phrases, words, and ideas. And then we get to number two. They propose the same questions over and over and over, and pretty soon their comments become reduced to that same question. Of course, dodging any questions you might pose or challenges. And then number three is generally it's a one issue. It's a one-trick pony. They're only concerned about, say, one particular issue. In this recent encounter I had, for example, they were only interested in Russia Today media and persecution of journalists in Russia. Of course, anyone who's seen my videos knows that I'm kind of interested in that sort of issue, as well as persecution of journalists all over the world, and conflicts all over the world, and deaths all over the world, and policies all over the world. So anyway, that focus on one issue. And another way that can manifest, for example, in an encounter with a shill, is I did a critique of a particular country, a company, Neustar, and a company representative was obviously coming after me. They were interested in the way I pronounced the company name. So, and then number four, another way that you can spot trolls and shills easily is they hang around a video for hours and hours, days and days, weeks and weeks oftentimes, and they come and challenge each person one after another like a spider, and they will engage each person over and over and over, and they use, and that's why it becomes easy to spot all the other characteristics I brought up, the rehearsed phrases, words, and ideas, the same questions over and over, the single issue. It all becomes easier to spot when you see them use it against every comer that comes along. And then, of course, number five, they get very taunting and provocative. They want to make sure that they antagonize you, and then of course you antagonize them back. That's something I'll get to in a minute. Then number six is their sources, their champion organization or their source is repeated over and over and over again. So that, once again, reveals either a shill or a troll being able to champion what their issue is, and it becomes about their issue, and they're kind of incensed when their issue is not necessarily your issue. And then number 7 is engagement. It's very important for them to engage you. And with a troll, of course, they engage you by taunting you and insults. And a lot of times, of course, they will begin the insults and then are outraged that you insult them back. And so it goes. There's the Chinese finger puzzle again. But with Shill, it's they're actively trying to engage you and to change your thought or at least make you doubt your own opinions. And that's when you know they may be a professional shill and not just a troll. It's that engagement. And number 8 is sometimes the nuttier the better. So if they seem particularly provocative because they sound really nutty, then that, of course, makes some people go away, but it also makes other people want to engage them because their statements and comments are so outrageous. And then number 9, one of my personal favorites, is this psychoanalyzing. They always, trolls and shills both like to basically psychoanalyze, and they try to pride themselves on making you angry and reading into your comments things that aren't there, or psychoanalyzing why you do what you do or believe what you do, and calling you a liberal when you're a conservative, and calling you a conservative when you're liberal, and all that kind of stuff. And I always just refer to them as give them a hat tip and thanks for being Dr. Phil. So these are the ways that trolls and shills operate, and it's pretty funny. They also have pretty huge egos, as do anybody, I guess, that's on YouTube, including myself, I suppose. But they have huge egos and flatter themselves and thinking you should be embarrassed and how bad they got you and all that kind of rigmarole, which is, of course, meaningless. I mean, all this interaction on YouTube comments is anybody that invests too much worth or value. The interaction between people and making contact with kindred spirits who share passions and ideas is a great thing. But as far as these epic battles, of course, at the end they mean nothing. And I'll be the first one to admit I've trolled before. For me, it's a sport, and I used to engage all kinds of crazy stuff probably 6-7 years ago, and certainly got myself into some regrettable moments. And people can take it fairly seriously. I've been cyberbullied and all that kind of stuff as well before, because I definitely can get pretty acerbic. But I don't do that, get out in the comments too much anymore. And when I do, it's all good fun, good sport. And I know it's kind of childish because some of these people get really worked up. But it's still good fun, good sport. And I know it scares the sponsors away, so that's another reason why I condone it still, because anything that chases corporate sponsors away can't be too bad, can it? I'm a useful idiot. Don't you be one too. Say goodbye.